The Trayvon Martin killing. 28-year-old George Zimmerman stalked and shot an unarmed 17-year-old teenager. Now, the teenager was black, and Zimmerman was apparently white or Hispanic. Now, some people say that he wasn't white, he was Hispanic. Well, Hispanic refers to one's ethnicity, referring to culture, and white refers to the color of your skin, your race. So race and ethnicity aren't necessarily the same thing. So you can be white and Hispanic at the same time. However, this information is coming from George's father, who also claimed that George did not follow the kid, which turned out to be absolutely incorrect. Even George admitted it on the 911 tape that he was following the kid minutes before he actually killed the kid, who was unarmed. So the father claims that George is half Hispanic. In any event, you can be half white, half Hispanic, and still be racist at the same time. Especially if you're saying that they all get away with it, and you may have. And there's a part where he may have muttered something like "effing coons." It sounded like "effing coons." There's a big controversy over that, but you can listen to it yourself. There's a link below. Maybe he was referring to they all get away with it, the criminals. But Trayvon did not commit a crime, so that makes absolutely no sense. I want to talk about this one more time because I want to clarify. It doesn't matter what color you are; you can still be racist. Period. Okay, and this guy was acting in a criminal manner. And there's a push by these anti-gun people in the media that say that these stand your ground laws are at the center of this. Please stop using this kid's tragic death as a means of promoting your anti-gun agenda. I'm sick of it. Okay, George Zimmerman does not have protection through Florida's stand your ground law. Let me explain that. In a lot of states, you're required to retreat. You have a duty to retreat. That means if somebody's threatening you, you have a duty to retreat before you use deadly force. In stand your ground states like Florida, they have the right to stand their ground to actually defend themselves. And this is something that was passed in 2005 in Florida, and it's been passed throughout the country in a number of states. And this is something I support wholeheartedly. I don't think you should have a requirement to run away from criminals when they're trying to hurt you, because that can put you into further danger. It's easier to defend yourself when you're standing your ground as opposed to trying to run. People are trying to claim that, this stand your ground law is the reason why Zimmerman has protection. No, it is not. He does not have protection through stand your ground because he did not stand his ground. George Zimmerman was on the phone calling 911 for the 50th time, which, by the way, is completely irresponsible. 911 is for real emergencies, not because you see some black kid walking around your neighborhood. He was on his phone with 911 stalking this kid in his car while this kid was walking. 911 asked him if he was following this kid. He said yes. 911 said, please don't do that. He said, okay. Minutes later, he continues to follow the kid, and he shoots this kid. And the kid doesn't have any weapon whatsoever. That is not standing your ground. Standing your ground is not stalking someone and engaging the situation and going after someone. He does not have protection through standing your ground. This is not a failure of legislation. This is not a failure of the law. This is a failure of law enforcement. And as far as, witnesses, his girlfriend, Trayvon's girlfriend, the victim's girlfriend, saying that she was on the phone with him during the entire thing. She said that Trayvon was complaining that some guy was following him. And that her story completely contradicts what George's story is all about. However, she is a girlfriend, so maybe she's protecting Trayvon. However, you can say the same thing about George's father with his claims. The only difference is his girlfriend hasn't been discredited because she hasn't given out any false information like George's father has. So I'm really passionate about this because I do carry a firearm. I do have a CCW, or CPL as we call it here in the state of Michigan. And I don't want to see law-abiding citizens who want to practice their Second Amendment rights get punished because some asshole wants to shoot an unarmed person when he could have completely avoided it. Let me tell you my protocol. I avoid situations like this. I do everything I can to avoid situations like this. If somebody's getting aggressive towards me, I walk away. Even though I don't have a requirement to run, I try to flee whenever I can. I look to avoid these type of situations. I don't look to escalate these type of situations. I don't try to play I don't know if I'm going to say Rambo. Another thing, stop calling this guy a vigilante. George Zimmerman is not a vigilante. A vigilante is somebody who operates outside of the law to target a deviant, heinous, often criminal character. There's no evidence whatsoever that Trayvon Martin was a criminal. So technically it makes no sense to say that George Zimmerman was a vigilante. This isn't what vigilantes do. Vigilantes are supposed to go after the bad guys outside the law. Okay, so it just bothers me hearing that. Ultimately, the stand your ground law is logical and it makes good sense, and we should continue to use it in protecting the rights of law-abiding citizens, and not let this failure of law enforcement be some type of grounds to attack other people's rights. George Zimmerman should at the very least be arrested, whether it should be for manslaughter or murder. Hey, like I said, this is going to be my last video on it. You guys can decide. But just to let you know that manslaughter is basically when you commit a crime and you get somebody killed. And you didn't necessarily mean to cause death. Second-degree murder is when you had malice and you killed somebody, but you didn't. It wasn't premeditated. First-degree murder is premeditated, and you meant to kill somebody. All right. That's all I have to say about it. Tell me what you think about stand your ground laws. And is this even relevant to the case? I say no. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And don't forget the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Bye.